Welcome back to another episode of Rob Sports Center. As you can see by the title, man, I'm going to be giving my take on the Steve Kerr and Jayson Tatum Team USA situation. So, Steve Kerr's been getting a lot of flack, and I'm going to be honest with you too. I was thinking about this yesterday. I've been one of those people of saying, how good of a coach is Steve Kerr? How good of a coach do you have to be to coach the Golden State Warriors? You know what I mean? At the time of when they was at their peak. I was one of those people. And I got to thinking, right? And you have to be, because it almost like it says that basically you can come into this game that we love so much and not be good as a coach and still have success because of how good the team is. Because it still takes a good coach to be able to get all of those guys to buy into whatever it is that you're getting them to buy into, to where we all work together within this system, to where I get all of us on the same page mentally and say, hey, this is what the goal is, NBA championship, right? So we're going to get off the Warriors, and now we're going to go to Team USA. You've had a lot of people that's had something to say about Steve Kerr, Dennis Rodman, Charles Barkley. It's been a lot of people, right? So I took the time to say, and this has been something. So I'm so glad that this popped up, because this is another, what's the word I'm looking for? This is another situation of what I think is wrong with sports and the world, period. But for this video, the sports, right? So if you guys are aware, of you football fans, NFL fans, and you know that they just had the top 100 players of the NFL drop, right? And Patrick Mahomes, I think, was number 4. He wasn't number 1, put it like that. And you had a lot of people that was in their feelings about Patrick Mahomes not being number 1. But if you go look at statistically, because if we're going based off of statistics, we're going based off of how good were you in terms of your production to your team. You see what I'm saying? And that's off statistics. Now, granted, there's stat sheets. There's areas of a person's game that you can't put on stat sheets, like in terms of being a leader, in terms of, constantly keeping your team engaged regardless of what situation. That don't come up on the stat sheet. But when it comes to touchdowns, to interceptions, passing attempts, passing yards, passing completions, all those things, right? Those are things you got to take into consideration. So I'm saying this, and not saying Mahomes doesn't deserve it. If you know me, you know me. I'm a Mahomes fanboy. You know what I mean? That's that. So it's not me attacking Mahomes, but this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to get people to understand. This league is not about participation. You don't get rewards and get a certain level of, respect just off of participation alone. Meaning that, okay, all I got to do is just show up and I'm supposed to get this, regardless if I've done the work for it to earn this. So we're going to go to the Jayson Tatum situation, right? So a lot of us, we don't understand what some people might not understand what personnel is, right? Personnel is players. Well, how do I want to put it? What personnel is basically the players that you got on the court. So it might be a certain lineup that you go with. So if you play, so just like this, right? So if you're going up against a team that plays small ball, right? You want to match that. So you want to have a small ball personnel. I'm going to take a 7-foot center off the court that got to go to the perimeter and hold a 6'10", 6'11" guy that's very mobile, like a Kevin Durant, pretty much. Because that's a matchup we don't want. So that we're going to have to switch the personnel, right? So it's things like that. So obviously it's something that Steve Kerr is seeing that we're not seeing. And this is why I had to also put somebody else, I ain't gonna say put him in check, but put that person on game of what I'm trying to say too. My thing is this. Who is the leader of Team USA in terms of the players? LeBron, right? So if what they were doing was that detrimental to the team, because we know Bron is all about the team, you don't think Bron would have stepped in and was like, hey, man, nah, this needs to happen, right? Jayson Tatum probably already knows, like, okay, cool, yeah, I haven't been performing the best in practice. I'm not saying he haven't, but I'm just saying, like, you don't just because he's coming off of an NBA championship season, you just automatically get thrown into the starting role, starting lineup, regardless if you deserve it or not. And I'm not saying he don't, but I'm just trying to ask people to look at that. So my thing is this, right? Y'all flat. At the end of the day, this is one thing too. What does it matter who is starting if they're winning, right? And then people might say, okay, well, like Charles Barkley, they supposed to be blowing people out. I mean, dude, you got to think about it, man. The game has evolved since the Dream Team in terms of overseas competition. You look at a lot of the stars in today's game, they're overseas players. Luka Doncic, Joel Embiid, Nikola Jokic, and look at who was giving them hell and that almost beat them the previous game. Nikola, Jokic. So it's not as easy as y'all like to think. And it's unrealistic to think that they're going to go out there and blow out everybody. That's like saying you expect a boxer to get in there and every fight that he win by knockout. Like that's unrealistic to put that expectation on there. You know what I mean? That's just because it's so many different things that you got to factor in. So it's hard to put that on there. You never know if we're gonna come out and have an off night. You never know if we're gonna be able to make adjustments to what they're doing. We might have to go through halftime and say, okay, cool, this is what we got to do. This is what we hurt. This is what's hurting us. Now we can come out and execute to that degree, but it's things you got to factor into the equation. So why does it matter if they're winning? So let's just say this. Let's say they put Jayson Tatum out there and he start. Jayson Tatum out there stinking it up. He ain't contributing offensively and he ain't contributing defensively. And then other areas, he's not crashing the boards. He keep getting out rebounded. So he's out there and it's almost like he's half stepping. So if I keep him in just because of Jayson Tatum, he's an NBA champion, yada, 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 you're going to get blamed and say, why did you let him stay in? But if you don't put him in and y'all winning, they're going to say, well, I think Jayson Tatum should still be starting. Okay, cool. That's what you think. You're not coaching. They didn't come find you and say, hey, can you come coach Team USA? They found somebody who's credible enough that they feel, okay, cool, we're going to put you with this person, that person, and this is going to be y'all, and y'all take care of that. You see what I'm saying? So if the results are coming up as victories, why does it matter? And that's why I'm just trying to get the sports fans to understand that sometimes things are deeper than what they see, what they seem. You see what I'm saying? They're deeper. And I seen that you had like Joy Taylor and them, they were speaking about it, and they were saying that, Jayson Tatum can contribute in terms of being a perimeter defender. You know what I mean? I know Jayson Tatum from an offensive player. And I'm not saying that he's not good defensively, but I don't know him for a lockdown perimeter player. I don't know him for that. You know what I mean? I don't know that. You see what I'm saying? So it's just like, it's so many different things that you can factor and say, okay, well, he should be, and he should be. And at the end of the day, I had to take a step back and analyze it and look at it and say, you know what? Congrats, Steve Kerr and Team USA and all the other coaching staff too, because y'all are putting things together. It might not be how other people think, but everybody's going to have an expectation about something. And most people that got expectations about certain things, they don't have no knowledge of why they think that, they just, because it's a popular opinion. So can't nobody, unless y'all can comment down below. And like I say, y'all know me. I always tell y'all, I don't mind being corrected or I don't mind being put on game with something. That's just me. So if it's something that he could bring to the table that you truly think, then comment that and let me know what it is so I can say, okay, yeah, you know what, you're right, that could. But my thing is this, like Tom Brady said, right? And this is why I'm so glad that Tom Brady is going to be broadcasting this year, because I look for credible broadcasters, because I'm trying to take mine to the next level as well. But Brady was saying that when you have a lot of receivers, like a top receiver, and they're crying, complaining, and whining that they're not getting certain targets every game, and like Brady said, why are you crying and whining when we're winning games? So in my mind, I'm thinking that you're trying to stat sheet pile, because your individual accolades is not more important than the actual team. So who knows if Jayson Tatum fits into that rotation that they have out there? They've been in practice and seeing it. And you know what I mean? So who knows? We don't know that. We're looking at it from the outside in and just saying, okay, he's an NBA champion. He's Jayson Tatum. He's supposed to be starting. But no, the people that's out there are the people that's out there. And I don't think Steve Kerr should have to give any explanation up to why Jayson Tatum's not out there, because he's the coach. Trust him to do his job. If you have any second guesses of it, you should never hire him as a coach to begin with. You know what I mean? But that's just my take. And like I said, if you disagree with me, that's cool. Let me know in the comments of to why you disagree with me and to what value you think that Jayson Tatum would bring in, because they're winning. Regardless if it's not pretty, if you know anything about Fast and the Furious franchise, right? And you remember when on part one, when Vin Diesel and Paul Walker was racing, and Paul Walker was like, "Dude, I almost had you, man." And Vince and I said Vince, but what's his name? Vin Diesel, yeah. Vin Diesel was like, "Well, whether you win by an inch or whether you win by a mile, you're still a winner." So I'm gonna drop the pin at that. That is it for this video, man. If you did enjoy this video, do me a big favor, man. Smash that thumbs up button. Also, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe. And when you subscribe, click that post notification bell, the way you be notified on all things Rob Sports Cinematic. Just like the GOAT Drizzy Drake say, I got these videos coming back to back, and y'all don't want to miss them. Like I said, comment down below to what you think value he brings, and I'm going to get back with y'all if y'all comment. I'll see y'all in the next video. I'm out to stand. Peace.